KSU. We are here with another episode of Coffee and Coaches coming to you from this beautiful, wonderful snow day. So when you watch this, it will already have been the snow day. So we hope you enjoyed it, got out there, didn't have to work too hard shoveling, but could just enjoy some rest and relaxation. And so today's Coffee and Coaches is going to be around our February in-service that is coming up. And we have our super special guest today, Al, and he is going to be talking about the in-service a little bit, about the data we're going to be diving into. Then we will be walking you through what the day looks like and giving you a brief overlook of each thing that you can expect. So, Al, what wise, wonderful things do you have to share with us?
Well, I'm not sure how wise and wonderful they all are, but I'll talk a little bit and we'll see what happens. More or less, the theme of the day is taking a look at your data, specifically the winter map data. We all just got done administering that test, and it's all sitting out there waiting for us to see what it looks like, and we're going to have a day to do that. The theme of the day, hopefully at the end of the session, you'll have been able to review your map growth data. We've been able to reflect on it, reflect on how the first half of the year went, and then get a little bit of time to use that data and what it tells you to do some planning for the second half of the year. So, in a nutshell, that's the overarching idea behind the day. The data we're going to be reviewing, we're going to start the day in buildings with principals, reviewing school level data, taking a close look at something called a quintile chart, which tells you what percentage of your students are in which percentile bands. It'll make more sense when you actually see the data. And there's some guided data reflection questions that we're going to have for the group to answer. So each school will meet with their building principal. They'll look at the charts. They'll answer the questions about the charts. And then at the end, what I'm hoping for at the end of the first session is that we'll have some ideas about, what things can we celebrate? What things might we need to change? And what do we need to do to make those changes happen? The second session, I think Abby Bennett is going to be running. It is basically a review of the Review 360 data. So that's the SEL screener you guys have been entering so much information into. That'll be about an hour long. I don't have any more details than that, really. That's Abby's thing. The third session in the morning is going to be led by the coaches, and that'll be broken out into groups. I think there's primary, elementary, middle grades, and secondary. And that's mostly just for convenience to keep the group sizes small. Specials teachers, special educators go into whichever group you feel most comfortable meeting with. I believe that's what we decided. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. But that's...
Are special teachers doing their thing with Lindsay at that time? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Woohoo, Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay Ryder will be taking specials teachers. That's right.
Yeah, but you are right. The special educators can join whichever age group they work most closely with. And if you work across a lot of different age groups, it doesn't matter which session you pick because they're all going to be the same information. We're just going to tailor it a little bit to if you, like, for example, elementary classrooms, you have one group of kids that you're looking at across the year versus secondary. We're going to just pick one of your classes since you obviously have more than one. So that's the only difference.
All right. Thank you. I obviously need more coffee.
Good thing this is Coffee and Coaches.
Yes. All right. So anyway, the goal of that session is going to be to actually log into MAP and get your data for the class you're interested in reviewing. And really, it's going to be a working session, mostly about getting into the MAP system, getting the recommended data charts for the day so that we can reflect on them in the afternoon and do our planning in the afternoon. And I believe the beginning of that session will be fairly short. There's a nice slideshow that the coaches have built and are ready to take you through with step-by-step instructions. And then there'll be some work time for you to go and get your data and explore some of those data reports that MAP has to offer. Then we're going to break for lunch. And when we come back in the afternoon, that first noon to 1 session will be specifically for reviewing that data. There are some guided reflection questions that we've put together for you to go through to help you look at, process, and review your data, do some reflection on instruction, and then you have time to do some unit design and planning for the next half of the year. The coaches will be online in the same groups for live help if it's needed. And that's really what there is to that session. The mid-afternoon session will be, again, future planning time for you guys, and there will be some modules. If you've gone through, you've done your reflection, and you feel like you've gotten what you need to out of it, there are data-related modules that have been highlighted for you that you guys can go in and go through. And there will be a few live sessions that our coaches will be leading. I know they've been working hard developing some of this material for you. And I don't know if you guys want to share a little bit about what you're going to be doing. But yeah, go ahead.
Sure. My session is making a simple chart in Google Slides. So it's going to be a little bit of the how-to on the Google Slides, or not slides, oh goodness, sheets. Sorry, I'm not a coffee person, but I need tea. Making a simple chart in Google Sheets. There's going to be a little bit on the technical side about how to use Google Sheets, especially if you're new to it. It's an amazing program. It can do a lot. But then it's also going to be a little bit of that thinking about what kind of data you have and what's the best way to visualize it. So you can, if you have a set of data that you want to visualize, you can bring it and we can do that together. Or if you just want to learn about it and you don't have any particular data, I'll have several sample sets of data to walk us through how to visualize it. I'm also setting up this session as an individual self-paced module that's going to be linked in with the other data modules. So if you're somebody who can't, and we'll record the session too, but if you either can't attend or maybe you just don't prefer live sessions, you can also use the step-by-step guide that will be in the module to still access the same information on your own at some later point if that's what works better for you.
In the second afternoon, I will do a session that is about the MAPS reports. In the morning, we're looking specifically at the class breakdown and the learning continuum, but there are many other reports. So the session that I'm planning is kind of an overview of the different reports and why you would use them and when you would use them. And it is geared towards someone who maybe hasn't done a lot with the MAP reports and wants to get a little more information about the other reports that we are not talking about in the morning.
And mine is on our newly activated MAPS Accelerator. This is really exciting for those of you that have been, this is for classrooms 3 through 8. And if you've been using Dreambox and have been finding maybe it's not working for your class or all of your kids, this is an alternative to that. And it's actually linked directly to NWEA Maps and Khan Academy. So the two of them work together. They take your student's test score and give your student practice and lessons based on that score. So what we are going to be covering is just the basics. You should have received an email with a welcome letter. If not, I'm going to show you where to go find that welcome letter and where to, or how to access without it. And just some of the basics, step-by-step, walking through getting your account set up. How will you get your students set up? And as Alina said, also I have a module that goes along with it. That's a step-by-step at your own pace. So if you would rather do that, that's available. And then I'm in the process of, probably won't be ready for Wednesday, but soon after, is a more advanced, now that you've got it going, how do you look at the data? All right, so is that all of our live sessions covered?
I believe that's all the live sessions, yeah.
All right. Corey, would you like to take us through a walkthrough of the coach's website to show everyone where they can find all of the great information that has been compiled for them?
One more thing before we get there. There's one more session in the afternoon after our modules and live sessions, and that work has been done. The last session from 2:30 to 3:30 is building based. It's going to be time for the principals to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of with their staff in their buildings. And one other thing should be mentioned right now. I believe the special educators and the guidance counselors in the afternoon are going to be going to FBA training for the afternoon. And with that, I will turn it over to Corey so she can take us through the website.
Okay. Let's pull up the website here. All right. So the first thing that I want to mention is actually the IT team has made it really easy for you all to find our website now. Everybody should have up in their bookmark bar this folder that says grcsu.org bookmarks, and this is where Infinite Campus and Dino are, and now also the coach's website. So if you never know how to get there, we have now made it easy. So my internet is super slow. There we go. Okay. So on the February page, we have a few different links. We have broken the schedule up for you into 4 different categories to just make it really easy to follow. Special educators and related service providers, you have your schedule here. Classroom and specials teachers, your schedule is here. Counselors, your schedule's here. And I think there is one session for the counselors that we didn't mention yet in the morning. All of the counselors will be meeting, and I believe Amber Bragg is going to be running a session for you to carry out some of the work that the SEL Action Recovery Team has identified. So you'll have some time in the morning to work with her on that. And then pre-K teachers here. And pre-K teachers, your schedule mimics the classroom teachers pretty closely, just instead of map data. During those grade level times, you'll be looking at your TS Gold data. So if we just go in and if we look at one of those, please be patient with the website. It looks on first glance like there is nothing there. But I promise there is. It just takes a little while to load. So you've got your schedule here. We've outlined it for you. We've built in breaks. And if you click on the I for each session, it's going to give you additional data or additional information. It's going to tell you what the session is. If there are any meet links, it's going to provide those for you. If there is a presentation, it'll have a link for that. We ask you to do some reflecting in one of the sessions. The reflection form is linked in with this information as well. In addition to all of your schedules, we have down here a few other resources for you. We have your in-service planners. This is going to be useful to classroom teachers, unified arts teachers, and preschool teachers. This is a requirement of the day for you. It outlines your schedule for you, and you are asked to make a copy or to print this and to fill out this middle session where you have choice of continuing the work from the session before with reflection and planning, live sessions, or modules. We would like you to just list out what you worked on during that session, as well as a few reflection questions for you to answer. And then you are asked to turn this into your building administrator. Other groups such as counselors, special educators, related service providers, you are not asked to fill this out because your day has been planned for you. You don't have that session right here where you have an option. You will be in training with the FBA training with Abby in the afternoon. You have the resources page. This page contains your reflection questions for that first session that after we come back from lunch when you were looking at your MAP or TS Gold data. There are two forms here. You have one that is good for elementary, unified arts, pre-K, and then you have a secondary version right here. The questions are similar, but they're a little more specific since the work that you're going to be doing, since you're just picking one class and since you've just had a semester change as well. And then finally, your last page. Oh, and then on your resource page, as we have recordings from live sessions, that's where all of the recordings and presentations will show up. And then finally, all of the modules that are related to data are published on this page to make it really easy for you. We have some new modules. We have some that we've pulled from our modules page that are related. So this is a great page for you to go to during that second session in the afternoon if you are looking to do some self-paced module work. And I think that is it for the website.
Great. Thank you, Corey. That looks great. So at this point, I guess I would ask if you guys have any questions for me related to what we're doing for in-service. I can answer any of those. Hearing none, I'll turn it back over to Jenny to close us out, I guess.
Thanks, Al. Just want to do one final check that nobody else has a comment of something maybe we missed that we didn't talk about yet. All right. So we are going to sign out and we will see you soon. And all of you enjoy the rest of your snow day.